So today in this video, we're going to talk about how to build Nahida. So we will go dive into our artifacts, our playstyle, our abilities, our best team comps, our weapons, our constellation. So let's get started. And before we get started, I just want to make sure I would really appreciate if you guys do subscribe to the channel and do support me if you are enjoying my videos. So please do that because it really helps out. All right, so let's get started. So first of all, the most important thing about Nahida is her playstyle revolves around her elemental skill. Okay, so Nahida's elemental skill. So Nahida playstyle, like I said, revolves around her elemental skill. Her elemental skill is the main part of her kit, where she gets most of the damage, where she does all sort of things. All right, so her elemental skill. So basically, in her elemental skill, she uses a mark. Like you can hold and mark nearby enemies, and it will create a Dendro damage, AoE Dendro damage around. It will spread AoE Dendro damage. All right. It has a 25 second of cooldown. It has 5 seconds of cooldown, and the duration is 25 seconds. So the energy cost is very low, and it has a very less up. It has a very fast uptime, so you can spam our elemental skill over and over again. All right, whether off field or on field, this thing has a 25 second of duration, so that's insane. So yeah, our elemental skill, like I said, you press it and hold it. You hold it and it will mark Dendro damage around enemies. All right, it will create Dendro damage, and it can mark up to 8 opponents, as you can see. Yeah, so now we're going to talk about our elemental burst. Our elemental burst, well, our elemental burst is not something that you get damage. It's most of support. So for example, if you're using Pyro, Electro or Hydro in the team, all right, it will increase their elemental reaction damage. Like Pyro, it will increase Pyro. If it will increase Electro, it will increase Hydro elemental reaction damage. So it has an energy cost of 13.5. It has energy cost 50, and cooldown has around 40, close to 14. Now this thing has more. This thing lasts more than the elemental skill. All right, so you can spam this thing over and over again. All right, so that's what her elemental skill does, elemental burst does. And one of those important things about Nahida is that every party member will gain 250 elementary mastery if Nahida, all right, if Nahida has 1000 EM. So do keep that in mind. If you reach 1000 elementary mastery in Nahida, all right, like 1000 EM over here, all right, then you will gain, every party member in your team will gain 250 EM. Do keep that in mind. All right, another one benefit from having 1000 EM is our crit rate will increase. All right, it will grant crit rate to her elemental skill reaction. All right. So, for example, it will from her elemental skill, you will do it will increase 24% crit rate. So once you get to 1000 EM, you will get 24 extra crit rate on her main ratio. So that, and not only just that, if you do elemental skill, you will do a lot of crit. So yeah, so that's the benefit of getting to 1000 EM. All right, now we're gonna talk about her weapons. Best weapons for Nahida is probably gonna be a signature weapon. If you don't have a signature weapon, you can use sacrificial fragments. Sacrificial fragments, I highly recommend using it. All right. And if there's any other, yeah, sacrificial fragments is the one I would recommend, highly recommend. If you don't have sacrificial fragments, then you can use Mappa more. You can craft it for free in the Mondstadt, I believe. All right. If you're building Nahida as an off-field, then you can use Witsith. You can use Lost Prayer or any other weapon that has crit rate, crit damage. Right. All right. Let's talk about artifacts. So in the artifact section, the best artifacts for Nahida is probably gonna be the 4-piece Deep Wood Memories. From the 2-piece, it gives you 15% Dendro damage bonus. From the 4-piece, after you use a skill or burst, the Dendro resistance will decrease by 30% for 8 seconds. This effect can be triggered. So this effect will also trigger when Nahida is not even on the field. So this is probably by her best. All right. You can also use Gilded, 4-piece Gilded as well. I would recommend using 2-piece Gilded, or you can also use 2-piece Wanderer because it gives you 80 EM. If you don't have a 4-piece set, you can use 2-piece combo, 2-piece Gilded, 2-piece Wanderer. Right? Now, on the main stack, if you're using Nahida as an off-field, then you have to use Elementary Mastery. On the sand, on the goblet, you could have to use Elementary Mastery. And here, on the circlet, you also have to use Elementary Mastery. If you are using Nahida as a damage dealer, as an on-field, then you can use Dendro damage bonus. Alright. And over here, you can use a crit rate or crit damage. Alright, crit rate or crit damage circlet. Let's talk about Constellation. Constellation wise, I think the most point you can stop at is at C2. What her C2 does is basically after doing burning, bloom, hyperbloom, or burgeon reaction, it will increase the crit rate and crit damage by 20 to 100%. Whether you're using aggravate, spread, or quicken reaction. Alright. So her C2 is a very good stopping point to stop. Her C3 and C5 increases talent level, which is C3 is very important. Her C4 increases elementary mastery of Nahida. Her C5, her C6 is basically, it increases her Dendro damage. Not only just that, when you're using, after using Nahida elemental burst, if you're using Nahida as using her normal or charge attack, it will increase her Dendro damage and her elementary mastery. All right, by 200 to 400%. So that is actually insane. All right, so that's what C6 does. A C1 basically, it's kind of niche, I would say, but it's okay to have. best team. We're going to talk about her team comps. All right. The best team comps for Nahida probably going to be Electro. Over here, you can use either Raiden, Cookie, Kaching. You can also use Lisa. Alright, you can also use Lisa. You can use Kaching. You can use any Electro character. Alright, you can use Beidou as well. So, yep. Over here, you can use Hydro. You can use either Yelan, Xingqiu, Nilu. If you're using Nahida with Nilu team, Kokomi. You can use Kokomi in here. Xingqiu in here, Mona in here, Furina. You can also use Furina. Alright, so there's that. Over here, you can use Kazuha. Kaidara Kazuha will be perfect pair for Nahida as well. Alright, so yeah. Yep, that's about it. Now we're gonna talk about how much elementary mastery you need on Nahida if you're using on off field. On off field, around 1000. On field, you need around 450 to 500. Around 450. Minimum is 450. All right. So that's about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.